Okay, please. So welcome to the session. So today we'll make a just recap of what we have discussed yesterday. Um, so yesterday what we have done is we have created a virtual machine and we have placed that virtual machine in one of the security group, and then we have configured the inbound and outbound port rules. So now today what we will be going discussion is Azure firewall. So what are the NAT rules that when we can configure for the few rules like NAT rules, application rules, and few rule processings, and then we will go the important topic of virtual network peering. So before going forward, so is my voice is clear, right? Can one person confirm?
Yeah, clear for this.
So one thing is, if you are facing any breakage, please let me know. Then we will stop there. Actually, I am having the limited access for internet today. Okay, coming to the Azure firewall. Let me open here. So Azure firewall is a very important topic. It will not take less than more than 5 minutes. So what do you mean by firewall? So firewall is nothing but, so you will be hearing this word of firewall in many cases, like any defending. So if you are having any mobile you are installing, then you will be having some firewall that will protect your device. So it is nothing but the protection that we are applying at any level or any mobile level or any place. So it is like a firewall is nothing but it will defend you from any threats or any attacks that are happening on your device. So in the similar way, if you consider any Azure resource or anything, any virtual network or anything, so you can set an Azure firewall. So Azure firewall is nothing but it will act like a defender from having any threats or attacks. So this is the main purpose of Azure firewall, and the main use case where we will be using the firewall is, let us consider a SQL database. So consider this is my SQL database. SQL database is nothing but SQL server. Consider this is an SQL server. So in order to access an SQL server, what you will be generally giving you using here username. First you will give the server name, and then you will be giving the database name. What is the exact database name? And then you will be giving the username. If it is like a based on the authentication type, so you will be having here authentication type. So in you will be having like few options. So generally the options will be like MFA. So MFA is nothing but multi-factor authentication, or you will be using the SQL authentication. So there will be many other options also. I am discussing only two things. So if you choose any of these options, let's say if you are choosing SQL authentication, what it will ask is username, and then the respective password to authenticate your respective SQL server. So it will ask these two parameters, and then once you enter this, what in the background what will check is whether the respective person if you are using username and password, what will happen is it will automatically log in. So if you consider the other security way, other way of logging is using the MFA. So when you choose the MFA option, multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication is nothing but so it will set like it will validate the user whether he is having the correct right of access or not. Let's say now Sai is trying to log in here. So if Sai will give like, he will enter his email ID. Let's say sai@microsoft.com. Let's say this is one of the email ID of Sai. So what he will give, instead of giving username and password, Sai will give his email ID. Then he will try to log in. So what will happen is, first it will check whether Sai is authorized to access the SQL server or not, and then it will check whether his IP is whitelisted in the Azure firewall. That is the second. First check what it will do is, I will write in another color here. Yeah, first check what it will do is whether Sai is authorized or not. So that is the first check it will be performing. After performing the second first check, what it will do is, after performing the first check, what it will do is it will check whether the Sai is whitelisted. Sai is whitelisted in the Azure firewall. So Azure firewall is nothing but manually what we will do is we will add the IP address of Sai in firewall. So this is the way where we are whitelisting. So we are telling the firewall like Sai is the person that I know, and we can give him access to the SQL server. So this is the practical scenario where we have automated. This is the other case where we will discuss when we are discussing in the DevOps automations and PowerShell, we will discuss how to automate these things. But what you should understand is, at the Azure firewall level, how we will be able to whitelist the IP address of any other person. So this is the way, I mean, this is the Azure firewall background. And coming to the here respective PPT, I will go to F5 mode. So these are all the other things which were discussed already. Okay, coming to here, I will switch to the pointer here. Okay, so Azure firewall is nothing but it's a managed cloud-based network security service that protects your virtual network resources. So it is like an Azure virtual network or any Azure resources like SQL Server and everything. So it is a fully stated firewall as a service with built-in high availability and unrestricted cloud scalability. So high availability in the sense it will automatically manage the availability of the firewall. It will extend the resource. If you are extending the virtual network, it will extend its firewall capacity also. And then Azure firewall uses a static public IP address for your virtual network resource, allowing outside firewalls to identifying traffic originating from your virtual network. So the main thing is in Azure firewall, what you will you'll suppose I have said about the SQL server. Now, if I wanted to tell about the any virtual network accessing the virtual machine, then the Azure firewall will use a static IP address, because if you are using dynamic address and it is changing automatically, we cannot identify. Okay, let's say I will give an example here. Hope here this is clear. Now what I will do is, so this is my virtual machine. Consider this is my virtual machine. So in order to access this virtual machine, I need to cross the firewall. Okay, let's say I will draw one firewall here. So this is my firewall. This is my Azure firewall. And then if you wanted to access this VM, you should cross this Azure firewall. So what I will do is, if I have, there will be two types of IP as we discussed, static and dynamic. So static IP and dynamic IP. Dynamic IP. So let's say if I have assigned this first scenario, what I will discuss is I am assigned the static IP. Let's say 10.0.0.55. So now what it will do is we will add this IP in the Azure firewall. Like whenever a request is coming to this IP, allow me. Okay. So in this firewall, I will come here and I will give this IP and I will tell it as if any request is coming. If any request is hitting firewall, is hitting firewall. In this request, if they are passing this IP, what is the IP that I have mentioned, like 10.0.0.55, then allow that request. So this is the first case. It is fine. Allow the request. In this case, it will be working fine. Consider the second scenario. If you are having a dynamic IP, while creating itself, you have chosen the dynamic IP. Let's say first it will initially assign the IP as 10.0.0. Let's say 77. Some IP got assigned. Now what you will do as per the process, you will come to the Azure firewall. Then you will add this IP here like 10.0.0.77. Then it will work as it is, as a same static IP. But if you are stopped any virtual machine as per the any use case scenario, then what happens, this dynamic IP will be overwritten and the new IP will be get assigned. So instead of other IP, let's say 10.0.0. Let's say 66 got assigned. But now what happens is in the Azure firewall, the IP is still 77, 10.0.0.77. So when a request is coming to the access the VM, then it will not know that this IP is whitelisted like that, and that way it will not allow the request to the VM. So Azure firewall will be using the static IP address only to forward any request. So that is a point we have discussed. And how to create firewall rules. Generally there will be three kinds of rules that you can configure in Azure firewall. So those are Azure firewall. Okay, remember by default Azure firewalls block all traffic until unless you enable it. Okay, whenever if you enable the rules, I mean firewall rules, then only it will allow the traffic, or else it will block all the traffic. So there will be three types of rules: NAT rules, network security rules, and application rules. So we will be discussing one by one. Coming to the NAT rules, so you can configure Azure firewall destination. NAT is nothing but network address translation. So it is to translate and filter inbound routes to your subnets. So NAT rules are used to filter the traffic that is coming to your subnets. Whereas coming to the network rules, yesterday we have discussed about the network rules. So how to create a network rule, what is the source we can give, what is the destination we can give, and what are the ports we can give, whether it is a TCP port or UDP port. So these are all comes under network rules. So yesterday whatever the rules that are discussed, that also comes under the Azure firewall rules only. So yesterday we have discussed on this. Coming to the third one is the application rules. Application rules, how we can specify is, we can give the domain name that can be accessed from any subnet. We can give the domain name. Let's say I can give www dot any website.com. So let's say google.com. So what happens is, if any person is trying to hit the Google network, then it will filter this rule is present, already present here. So it will automatically think like already Google is whitelisted, then I can allow my traffic. Let's say contest is one website. So here we have given the domain name as Contoso. So if any person, I mean, if any Azure resource or if any person is trying to access this Contoso website, then it will automatically allow that traffic to that. So it is based on the type of rules that we are specifying. We can address them by using NAT, network, and application rules. One of the important topic is rule processing. So what is the rule processing is, when suppose if any how the rule processing filter will be doing is, first it will check the network rules, and after that it will check the application rules. This is the order how it will be checking. So first the network rules will be applied, and after that application rules will be applied. So and then the filter will be happening. So if that both rules are passed, then the network traffic will be routed. So this is the more of firewall. If you are having any queries, we'll discuss, or else we'll go to the VNet peering, which is the most important topic. Okay. Then I will go to the VNet peering. So we will come here. I will explain. So virtual network peering is the most important concept that will be asked in the interview questions. So everyone should have a knowledge on it. At least by listening this class, you can get a basic knowledge on what is a peering. So peering is nothing but to establish a connection. So from where to where establishing the connection, it is depends upon the thing. So the name itself, it is saying like VNet peering. VNet, VNet peering. VNet peering is nothing but virtual network peering. So what is the thing here is, we are trying to establish a connection between two virtual networks. So that is nothing but the VNet peering. So let us consider I am having a virtual network here. I am having a virtual network. So ideally yesterday what we have discussed is, okay, let me do Control Z. In the first class, I mean in the while we started this networking topic, so what we have done, we have created two virtual machines in the same network. Okay, let's say I'll show how we have created that. This is my virtual machine 1 and this is my virtual machine 2. So here I have created two virtual machines, VM1, and here I have created VM2. So but the thing is, here we have created the both VMs in the same network. So this is my virtual network. So here the outside red line is the virtual network. Inside one virtual network we have created two VMs. So as both the VMs are present in the same virtual network, we did not establish any separate connection. It is automatically get connected from one VM to another VM. This is the way. Okay, this is the way. First in the first lab we have done this one. In the second lab, what we have done is, we have established the inbound port rules, outbound port rules for one VM. That is a other case. Okay. Yeah. So this one. So VM1, from VM1 to VM2 it got connected automatically, and VM2 to VM1 it got connected automatically, because both are present in the same virtual network. Now what we are trying to do is, similar. Consider there is one more virtual network got created here. This is my VNet 2. Now I have created one more VM here. Let us consider here one more VM, and then here I'll put it, the name is as VM3. Okay. So now if I wanted to establish connection from virtual machine through virtual machine 3 to virtual machine 1, or if I wanted to establish connection from virtual machine 3 to virtual machine 2, okay, yeah, here, or if I wanted to establish connection from here, there is a blocker here. What is the blocker is, your virtual network will not allow the traffic to connect from one virtual network to another virtual network. Now here we will come up with the concept of peering. So in order to establish this complete connection, we will come up with the concept of peering. What is peering will be doing is, peers is nothing but it is a pass through. So we are able to pass the network from one virtual network to the other virtual network. That will happen through the peering. So whenever if any interview person or anyone is asking a question like what is a virtual network peering, it is like we can establishing a secure connection between one virtual network to the other virtual network. So this secure connection will be happen through the Microsoft Azure network backbone. So this completely happens to the Microsoft side. So I think you got some basic idea of what is a peering. Now I will go here. Yeah, this is the some slides we have presented for you. So coming to the virtual network peering, this enables you to seamlessly connect two Azure virtual networks. Once paired, the virtual network appears as one for connectivity purpose. It will consider like both as one only. So we can connect both the virtual networks. There are two types of virtual network pairings. So what are the two types of virtual network pairing are regional VNet and global VNet. So regional VNet is nothing but, okay, I'll explain that one. Okay, what are the two types of pairings are? Regional, and then one more thing is global. So coming to the regional, let's say, okay, so consider India. This India is considered as a one global region. So in this I will create two regions. Okay, one is south. Okay, consider US. Okay, instead of India we'll go with US because I'll create now the same example I have taken for US only. So consider this is a US region. In this what I will do is I will create two regions. One is East US region and one more thing is West US region. So in East US what I will do is, okay, this is my East US region. East US, sorry, US, and this is my West US region. West US region. So in East US, suppose if I wanted to establish a connection between two VMs in the same region, it will come as a regional peering. It will come under as a regional VNet peering. So what I will do is I will create one VNet here, VNet 1. This is my VNet 1, and this is my VNet 2, and this is my VNet 3, which is hosted in the separate region. So here I'll put the namings as here VNet 1, VNet 1. Here I will put it as VNet 2, and here I will put it as VNet 3. Okay. So if I have established peering within the same region, it will come as a regional VNet peering. So this peering comes under regional peering, and if I establish a peering from across the regions, it will come as a global peering. So I will try to draw with an example here. Yeah, this blue circle comes under regional pairing, whereas I will try to draw a green circle here. So this green circle comes under the global pairing. So it is nothing but if you are establishing a pairing connection between same region, it comes under regional. If you are establishing connection between two regions, it comes under global. So that is what we have depicted here. So regional VNet pairing is nothing but in the same region, whereas global VNet pairing connects Azure virtual networks in different regions. So when creating a global pairing, the paired virtual networks can exist in any Azure public cloud region or China cloud regions, but not in the government clouds. So government clouds and these are the things we will cover in the next coming classes. What is exactly is those things? So just you can remember the same thing I have tried to draw there. So this is the region 1 and this is the region 2. If in the same region, if you are connecting two VNets, then it comes under regional VNet pairing, or if you are trying to connect between two regions, it comes under global VNet pairing. Okay, this is the two types of pairing and that pairing concept. And what are the benefits of the virtual network peering? So the benefits of using local, whether you are using local or global virtual network peering, so it is a private. So the first thing is a secure domains. So network traffic between peered virtual networks is private. It is not exposed to any public ports. Then you can use it in a private secure manner. Traffic between the virtual networks is kept on the Microsoft backbone network. Okay, this is one important thing. So you will be having a Microsoft backbone network. So whatever the communications that are happening between the Azure resources, all the communications will happen through the Microsoft backbone network only. So it is type of network that is internal to the Microsoft, and they will be managing these things. And no public internet gateways or encryptions is required. So because it is managed through the Microsoft backbone network, you do not require any public internet or any gateways or any encryptions to be done between the communication. This is coming to the private thing. Coming to the performance parameters. So low latency and high bandwidth connections between the resources in different virtual networks. So what is the latency? I think you know the term latency. Latency is nothing but the slow. It is a term for slowness. So low latency is nothing but it is like a high performance things. Coming to the bandwidth, let's say bandwidth in the sense, if you are having using any Wi-Fi, so what is the bandwidth you will be having is, let's say 10 Mbps for 20 Mbps, 30 Mbps. That is generally we will be getting, but in the Azure side it will be in the gigabytes per second. So 1 gigabyte per second are based on the regions we have selected. So within the local region to region it will be very fast. Coming to compared to global, from one more region to other region. So internally it will be very fast, but global VNet peering also will be very fast than you expected, because it is managed to the Azure Microsoft backbone network. And coming to the communication, so all the internal resources will be communicated through the virtual network only. So and it will be happen in a seamless manner. Seamless manner in the sense it will transfer the data across subscription levels, and it will follow all the deployment models and across all the Azure regions also. And no disruption in the sense there will be no downtime to resources in either virtual network while creating the pairing or after the pairing. So let's say if you wanted to create a pairing from one virtual network to the other virtual network, there will be no any downtime in this virtual network or in the target virtual network also. It will automatically get created and it will be collected very soon. Now you can see in the demo I will be showing in the next 15 minutes, and how to create a virtual pairing, network pairing. So generally to create any virtual network pairing, you should have definitely two virtual networks, and then to test the pairing you will need a virtual machine in the each network. So in order to test the pairing whether it is working fine, how we will be testing the pairing is, you should have some device. So here device is nothing but we are creating a virtual machine in one VNet, and we are creating one more virtual machine in the other VNet. So if you are able to ping the virtual machines in the both the things, then the pairing is established. So these are the common steps that you can do it to test the pairing. One is you can create two virtual networks, pair the virtual networks, then create a virtual machines in each virtual network, and then test the communication. So and to configure the add pairing page, what are the different default parameters are? You should specify the pairing link name and traffic to remote virtual network. You should allow this because you should allow the traffic from one way. So let's say how to tell you is that one. Okay, here let's say I have created two VNets here. So from VNet 1, okay, sorry, okay, here. So from VNet 1 it should allow traffic to VNet 2, and then from VNet 2 it should allow traffic from VNet 2 to VNet 1. So this is the one that is, if you click on yes, it will automatically take this option. Allow is nothing but it is allowing traffic to the remote virtual network. Traffic forwarded from remote virtual network. So it is like it should block this one, because it should not be in a bidirectional. It should be an unidirectional. If you wanted to have a bidirectional, you should create a VNet pairing from VNet 1 to VNet 2, and one more VNet pairing from VNet 2 to VNet 1. So I will discuss you in this next 50 minutes. And if you wanted to choose any virtual network gateway, we can choose. But what is a virtual network gateway? We will be discussing in the Monday class. So today we will be covering the VNet peering concept alone, because it will be very useful. And one more,
Can we can we can we do VNet peering for on premises and Azure related?
yes, we can do that. So okay, as you have brought the topic, I will tell you there will be three concepts here, three types of peering: site to site, site to site, and site to point, and then VPN to VPN. VPN to VPN is nothing but a VNet. So site to site will be preferable for on premises things. So how we will be doing is, here in the on premises, you will be creating a VNet here, and you will be installing the application gateway here, application gateway, and then gateway, and then you will be giving a transit here. Transit is nothing but like a permission you will be giving. So transit here. So after create on the on premises, you will be creating, sorry, not VNet, okay, VNet. In the VNet you will be attaching the application gateway, and you will be giving the gateway transit here. So when you done this all the things, it will be establishing the connection from on premises to the Azure. So it is like a site to site. Coming to the site to point, if you wanted to establish a connection to any one particular resource, then you will be going for site to point. And whereas if you wanted to, now currently we are checking with VPN to VPN, this third one we are working on. It is like establishing the connection between Azure Virtual Networks. Azure Virtual Networks. Hope you are clear, Dilip.
Yes.
Yeah, but these are the things we will be discussing in detail, okay, in the upcoming classes. So how to establish
Okay.
everything. Okay. Oh, okay. Now one more important topic is, okay, I'll ask you a question. Tell me whether it will be work or not. Okay. Okay. Now I have three virtual networks here. Let's say this is my VNet 1, this is my VNet 2, and this is my VNet 3. I'll write here the same thing here. VNet 1, VNet 2, VNet 3. Okay. Now what you have done is you have established a pairing. So from where to where you have established pairing is, you have established a pairing from VNet 1 to VNet 2. So this is the one way we had established, and then you have established a VNet, pairing from VNet 2 to VNet 1 also. This is the one way, and then similarly you have established from VNet 2 to VNet 3. Now what is my question is,
Bali, your screen is stuck.
oh, screen got stuck. Dilip, is it also same for you?
Did you only connect VNet 1 to VNet 2 or related to VNet 3 as well?
No, my screen is visible or not?
We can't, we can't able to see VNet 3 connections. Only VNet 1 and VNet 2 is the parent.
Okay, VNet 2 to VNet 3 is not appearing for you.
Got it. Now got it.
Okay, Dilip,
Yeah,
for you?
no, visible.
Okay.
Visible now.
Okay. Now what is my question is, this VNet 1 to VNet 2, whether the connection will happen or not. That is my question. I mean, sorry, what is, I'll put the question in one more way. Okay, so I'm okay. So what is the question is, from VNet 1 to VNet 2 I have established a connection. From VNet 2 to VNet 3 I have established connection. Now my question is whether you can do the pairing from VNet to 1 to VNet 3 directly through this way. Because as you have connection from VNet 1 to VNet 2 and VNet 2 to VNet 3 you have connection, whether you can do the pairing or not. That is my question. Hope you are got the question clearly.
Yeah, I think 3 will combine into a single network. No?
Sai, what about you?
Yeah, I think we have to give separately VNet 1 and VNet 3 separate connections.
Yes, correct. So the thing is, from VNet 1 to VNet 2, it will establish one connection. So these two will become one. From VNet 2 to VNet 3 will establish one connection. It will become one. But if you wanted to connect from VNet to 1 to VNet 3, you cannot connect directly. So you should establish a pairing. That is the concept here I am about to discuss. So that is nothing but service chaining. So service chaining is VNet pairing is not transitive. Not transitive in the sense, see, when you establish VNet pairing between 1 and 2 and between 2 and 3, VNet peering capabilities do not apply between VNet 1 and VNet 3. However, you can configure user-defined routes and service chaining to provide the transitivity. So you can do some extra things and then you can make that connection live. Okay, by simply applying the connection between 1, 2 and 2, 3, it will not have the connection between 1 and 3. So that is one. For this, you can overcome with the help of hub and spoke architecture. So what is the hub and spoke architecture is, the hub virtual network can host infrastructure components like network virtual applications and VPN gateway. So we can establish a VPN gateway in one hub VNet, and we can add the VNet 2 and VNet 3 as spokes for that. Hub and spoke is nothing but a cycle wheel. Let us assume a cycle wheel. In that you will be having a center wheel, and then you will be having all the spokes. So a center is nothing but the hub, and then spokes are different, are nothing but the uh, uh, that the strings that are connected to the outside wheel. So whenever you wanted to transmit any data, if you transmit it to hub, it will automatically transmit it to spokes. So we will discuss this hub and spoke architecture, but just you can remember this. So using hub and spoke architecture, you can have that peering between 1 and 3 also. Okay, and checking the connectivity. So what is the checking connectivity? You can check the status of VNet peering. So whether it is whenever you create any peering, first it will be in initiated state, and as soon as immediately it will move to the connected state. If it is in connected state, then your connectivity is established. I mean, your peering is got established successfully. Okay, so now we will go to the lab scenario. You can see the lab scenario screen, right? Or any lag is happening?
Yeah, visible.
Yeah, visible.
Okay, so if any lag is happening, please let me know. Okay, yeah. So now what is the scenario I wanted to do is, I need first I need to establish a connection between two virtual networks. This is my one virtual network. It is hosted in one resource group, and I have see, I will explain one by one. What this is, one virtual network. This is a VNet 0. In this I have one subnet 0. Under it I have created one virtual machine. This is my virtual machine. So in the same region, let's say this is a east US. Okay, let's say this is the east US region. In the same region, what I have done, I have taken one more VNet, and I have created one more subnet, and I have created one more VM here. So in the same region. Now what I am doing is, I have choosing some other region now. In the some other region, I am creating one more subnet, I mean VNet. I have created one more subnet, I have created one more VM. Totally, I have created three VNets, three subnets, and then three VMs in different places. I mean, two VMs in the same region and one more in other region. Now what I will do is, if we wanted to do the peering in the same region, it will call as a local peering that we will test, and then we will test the global pairing also. Okay, hope you are clear on the task, right? What is the lab we are going to perform?
Local peering and regional peering are same.
Yeah, correct. Local and regional pairing are same. Correct. Good. Okay.
Okay.
Hope you are clear on this task, right? We'll start if you are clear.
Yes.
Okay then. So I will go to my portal again. So now what is the agenda is, we should create three virtual machines in three separate VNets and three separate subnets. Okay, I will browse my portal. I'll go to my virtual machines. I'll click on create. I'll click on Azure Virtual Machine here. So we'll do is, we will try to host two VMs in East US and one VM in West US. Okay. So now I'll create one resource group here. The resource group is VNet VNet pairing. So this is my resource group I am going to create. So here I'll create a VM1 here. VM1 I will host in East US. East US. And then I will choose the image as Windows 2019, and then I'll give the sorry username and password for this admin, and I'll give the password. So I have given the password, fine, and go to the disk. I'll give the it give a standard SSD, so I'll cost will be there for me, and I'll go to my networking. So what I'll do is here I'll give as pnet 1. So we will give the same nomenclature here. Here I will give it as it is VM1, I am giving it as vnet 1, and then I will give some okay, here I will give as 41 here. Let's say 41, 42, 43 like that will create, and then I'm giving here 16. Okay, let it be here, and then I'm creating one subnet. Subnet I'll give it as subnet 1, and then I'll give the address space here like 10 dot 41 dot 0 dot 0 slash 24. I'll give something here. I'll give as 22. Why to waste this space? 22. Oh, again it got subnet 1 10 dot 41 dot 0 dot 0 slash 24. Okay, so this is the one. I'll click on OK. So vnet 1 subnet 1. Remaining I'll keep it as default. I'll go to management. I'll go to the monitoring. I'll disable the boost diagnostics, and I'll click on review and create. So in the same way, I'll put in one more portal. I'll open like that. I need to create 3 missions now. So I'll click on okay. It is getting validated. Validate is nothing but it will invoke the REST API here. As you know already, we have discussed many times. I'll click on create here. So my virtual mission is first mission is getting created. My second, 2, 3 are in pro. I mean, it is still loading. Okay, else I'll go to the virtual missions tab here itself. I'll click on create again virtual mission. The resource group, I will choose the resource group. It is still loading. Let it load. Guys, you are able to hear me, right?
Your voice is breaking, man.
Okay. Is it now fine?
No, it's taking.
Okay, I think some network issue. VM2 I'm trying to create here. Admin user. Now is it still breaking?
Yeah, still break.
Okay, sorry, there is some network issues maybe. Just I'm trying to create the missions from my side. Okay.
Yeah, now clear.
Actually, network is very slow. Sorry, bear with me. Actually. So I am trying to create my second virtual machine. You are able to hear me right now?
Yes.
Yeah, Banu.
Okay, fine. So VM2 I am creating here. I am placing the east US. I am choosing the location as 2019 data center here, and then I'll give the username and password here to log into this VM. And then I'll go to the my disks. I'll choose my SSD here, and then I'll go to my networking. I'll create my VNet here now. Now I'll give you the name as VNet2 here, and the IP address range I'll give it as 42 here, and subnet I will give as subnet2 here, and I'll give the range as 10.42.0.0/24. Here I will give it as 22. Here subnet to 10 dot 0 dot sorry 10.42.0.0/24 here. I'll put it as okay. Then I'll creating this one. Okay. Then I'm giving all the options. Next I will disable this monitoring. I'll be disabling the boost diagnostics. I'll click on review and create. Meanwhile I'll come here and create my virtual machine, other one. So some basics didn't get validated. VNet peering. Okay, confirm password I should give once again. Review and create. I'll try to create the third VM here as per our architecture. VNet to subnet to IP. Okay, I'm creating this VNet 2, and I will creating my third one. The first VM got spinned up. Okay, so here I'm creating my third VM here. I'm giving a VNet here, and I'm giving the VM3, and now VM3 I'm hosting in the West US location. West. Okay, West US 3. Let's say here. And do the image as Windows 2019 data center, and then I'll give my username and password. So I need to change some other location. Maybe West US is not getting accepted here. West Europe, let's say. Okay, West Europe is getting accepted. Let's see whether we can do the pairing or not. And then I will go username. I am giving my same user, and then password. Password I should not tell. Okay, I give my password. Then I'll go to my disk. I will choose it as standard SSD here, and I will go to my networking tab. So in the networking, now that the important thing is we should create our same as we should create our VNet and subnet. So here I am creating my VNet here 3, and I will change my 43. I have given my IP here, and then I am giving my address space as 22 here. So I have given my subnet here as subnet 3, and I am giving the IP range as 10.43.0.0/24. Then I'll select the subnet and then click on OK. So and then I'll go to my management. I'll go to my monitoring. I'm disabling the boost diagnostics here, and then click on review and create. So my validation will happen through the help of the REST API. So once the REST API got invoked and the validated, it will enable the create button here. So as you know, now VM2 also got created. So let our VM3 also get created. Okay. Okay, I have hit my VM3. It will automatically get created. Now what I will do is I will go to my architecture again. Okay, so here architecture. Now I have created my VM1 is ready. VM2 is ready in the same region. Now what we'll do is we will try to establish the local pairing first. So for this establishing the local pairing, what I will do is I will go to my first VNet one. I will go here. In the top, I'll search for virtual networks. So these are my virtual networks. So how many virtual networks got created? Definitely we'll have one VNet 1 and VNet 2. VNet 3 is yet to be get created. It will create now. So VNet 3 also got created, I think. Let refresh here. No, sorry. See, VNet 1, VNet 2 and VNet 3 got created. So here you can see like two virtual networks are created in East US and then one more got created in West Europe. Now we will do a local pairing first and then we'll do a global pairing. So first what is the process to do a pairing is we should enter into the virtual network. So I'm going to the virtual network here. In the virtual network, if you scroll down in the left pane, you have here pairings. You click on the pairings here. So you don't have at any pairing now. Now you try to add one pairing. If I click on add here, now what I'm doing here, this virtual network, it is asking, and then what is the pairing link name here? So we should give the pairing link. Now what I'll do is VNet1, sorry, VNet1, I'll give space to VNet, okay, space is not available. VNet1 to VNet2. This is the pairing that I'm trying to establish. And then traffic to remote virtual network I should allow, and traffic forward from me to virtual network I'll block this traffic. And then remote virtual network. See, now what I'm doing is I'm trying to establish a ping from VNet1 to VNet2. So now my VNet2 will act as my remote virtual network. So I will give here VNet. The same way it will establish the reverse connection VNet2 to VNet1. And then here I will give the subscription. I should select the network. I should establish connection from VNet1 to VNet2. I will go here and I'll go here. I'll select the VNet2 here. And then I'll block the traffic that is originated from the outside of this virtual network. And then I'll click on add. So it is validating and it is adding two pairings. What is the two pairings are? VNet1 to VNet2 and VNet2 to VNet1. So you can see only one pairing here. Let's say here I am clicking on refresh. It is still the pairing status is updating. Now if I click on refresh, it is connected. Now what happens is we are establishing connected from VNet1 to VNet2. Now if I wanted to see go to VNet, if I am going to the VNet at the same time and I am seeing the pairings. So here you can see under the VNet2 also one pairing got connected. So what happened is here if you create one pairing in one VNet, it will automatically get reflected in the other virtual network also. So that is the one way. Now what I have done is I have created pairing of this one. I'll show you in the PPT. This local pairing got created. Now what I will do is I will create a global pairing. So from VNet1 to VNet3 I should create. Now I'm going back to my VNet1. I'm adding the pairing again here. What I will do is this is my global. So I will give as VNet1 to VNet3 global. This is the global pairing. So I will block the traffic from the outside. And now what is my pairing link name? Remote virtual network. VNet3 to VNet1 global. So I will choose the virtual network here as VNet3. So it will what happens is it will create a global pairing and I will block this traffic from the outside of the virtual network and I will click on add. So what happens is from VNet1 to VNet3 we have created. Now I will go to my PPT and mark this as completed. So this is also completed. Now what is the pending is from VNet2 to VNet3 we should create. So I will go to my VNet2 here. We'll go to the pairings and click on add here. So don't be you are having any confusion also, let me know. Okay, just I'm creating the pairings VNet 2 to VNet 3. This is also global. I'm blocking the traffic from outside, and then what is the peering link name is here, VNet 3 to VNet 2. This is also global. So VNet 2 to VNet 3 to VNet 2 global, and then select it as VNet 3. VNet 3. I'll block the traffic that is coming from the outside, and then click on add here. So now we have established the pairing connection from VNet 1 to VNet 2 local, and VNet 2 to VNet 3, VNet 1 to VNet 3. All the things we have established the connections now. You can see everything. If you go to VNet 3, we did not create any connection, but two pairings will automatically get established. Okay, second one is getting established, I think. Now it got established. So all the pairings got created successfully. Now we need to test this. The third last part is how to test this connection. So now what I will do is I will log into any of this virtual machine. Okay, how to test this I will show you here first. I will log into this virtual machine, and then I will try to ping this. So through this peering it should ping, and I will try to ping this third machine also. If it is getting pinged, then my task got completed. Now what I will do is I will go to my virtual machines, photo resource. I will go to my virtual machine 1. This is my virtual machine 1. I'll try to connect here. How to connect is we'll click on connect, click on RDP. We'll get a file downloaded. I mean, you should click on download RDP file. That file will be downloaded. Now I'll stop the recording to enter the credentials. I'm stopping. I have started the recording again since I have entered the username and password of the VM to log into it. Okay, I am inside the mission. Now what is my task is I should test the connection from virtual machine 1 to virtual machine 2, whether this connection is happening fine. And one more thing is from virtual machine 1 to virtual machine 3. It happens all through the peering only. So now how to test the connection is simple. I will come here, I will go click on search here. Okay, it is getting loaded. Give me a second. Meanwhile, I'll minimize this. Okay, I'll go to the VM. It is getting loaded still. So now currently I am in VM1. Okay, I need to test the connection from VM2 to VM3. Okay. So what is the IP that will be getting allocated to VM2 or VM3? So I have given 10.42.0.0. Okay. Now what is the IP it will be getting allocated? You can based on your yesterday and day first class, you can tell me that answer meanwhile. What is the first IP that will get allocated? You got the question?
Yes.
What is the first IP it will get allocated? Now what I have given is 10.42.0.0/24. So what is the IP it will be getting allocated dynamically? What is the first IP it will get allocated? Just give a try.
Yeah, I remember you told first four will be allocated, but
Yeah,
for
correct.
this I don't
Yeah,
remember.
that you got is enough actually. So what it will be allocated is okay. Yeah. So I have given 10 dot for the first VM 10.41.0.0 I have given. The first it will be allocated 10.4 because 0, 1, 2, 3 are reserved. Okay, that is why. For the second one it will allocate 10.42.0.0. 4, and for third VM it will allocate 10.43.0.4. So if you come to the portal and see, the same it will be here also. So this is my VM1. I'll go to the overview here. Where is my, see here IP, you can see right, 10.41 to 0.4. The same way for VM2 and VM3 also it will get allocated like that only. Okay, now I'm go to my PowerShell. You understand right the answer? What you have said.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'll try to run this in the admin mode. Okay, it is not from admin mode. PowerShell. Right click, run as administrator. Cannot load PS read module. PowerShell. Let me try this one. It is not at all responding. It is a bit slow. Okay. Now what I will do is I should do the test connection. So what I will do, test. This is my command I have got. Test hyphen net connection. Test connection. So what is the computer name? CYMPAT here computer name. So what is the computer name is? Second computer name is 10.52. Sorry, 42. 42.0.4. 0.4. And then what is the port that we hosted? RDP is generally hosted on port. What is the port it is hosted? 3389. And then if you want, what is the information level you wanted to, if you wanted to give specific, you can give this one, information level, you can give as detailed. So it will give the detailed information. That's it. Detailed. I'll try to hit this. See, now it is trying to attempt a TCP connection and it is waiting for the response. Let's see what it will get the response. See, now it is able to hit that. See, TCP test succeeded. Whether it is able to hit that URL, I mean hit the mission or not. So how it has hit is through the network peering that we have established. Okay. Now local network peering is working fine. Now we will check the global one. The same way I will change the mission name here. Now I will give the 43 here. 43 and I hit the enter. Now it is trying to hit. Okay. Now also it got hit. So what happens is interface alias is Ethernet. Ethernet is nothing but whenever you are trying to do across the regions, it will happen through the Ethernet. So that is the way it got. Now we are able to achieve the task like we are able to test the local through local peering. We are able to ping this mission from one location within the same region, and through the global peering, we are able to ping the mission from one region to the other region also. So the same task that is given here. Yeah, that is for today, guys. If you are having any queries, you can ask me. Sorry, I have taken you 20 minutes of time.